Yeah, I know. Sparking Zero is already out. Why am I making a video on this? Well, I just wouldn't feel right skipping over this game and just going straight to Sparking Zero. So, fuck it. Here's this quick little video on one of the best fighting games of all time. That's right, Dragon Ball FighterZ isn't just one of the best Dragon Ball games, but one of the best fighting games, period. And that's because it's a actual fighting game.
Huh?
Now, that's not to say that the other ones aren't real fighting games, voice crack, but the majority of them definitely lean more towards the casual side of things. But Dragon Ball FighterZ is on a completely different level. It's a 2D fighting game that's a little similar to Marvel vs. Capcom. Instead of playing with a single character, you form teams of 3 with the option to switch between them on command, and you win or lose the match when one player's entire team is knocked out. You can also call in your idle characters to give you an assist while you control your main one, allowing you to continue your combo if you time the assist well, or act as a tool while in neutral or during a block string. But FighterZ isn't just an MVC clone, as it incorporates many iconic aspects of Dragon Ball into the gameplay, like the ability to super dash at your opponent, allowing you to extend combos, the key bar that builds up as you take and dish out damage and allows you to perform special moves, and the sparking mechanic, which you can activate once per match, and it will temporarily recover some of your health, slightly boost your attack power, and even allow you to do some special maneuvers that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. To be honest, I'm not all that knowledgeable in fighting game terminology, since this was my first traditional fighting game, so I'm probably not the best person to give an analysis on the game's mechanics. But with the amount of time I spent on this game,
Oh my god.
I think I could pretty safely say that this game's combat is fairly easy to learn, but it is extremely difficult to master. Not to mention the countless number of in-depth videos made on specific mechanics, frame data, character combos. This shit goes deep. Speaking of characters, what I believe makes Dragon Ball FighterZ really special is that despite the roster appearing very small compared to the other games in the franchise, unlike those games, every single character here is unique. Every character has their own unique combos and mechanics that make it so no character feels similar to another, except for maybe the many Goku and Vegetas. But even then, those characters all have enough differences in their movesets that make it so even if you're a pro Super Saiyan Goku player, that doesn't mean you're automatically going to be a god with base Goku. Although base Goku is extremely OP. Seriously, what the fuck is that damage? And not only is every character different, but they are all completely viable. As in, there's no joke characters here that have an obvious disadvantage against the rest of the roster, which are really funny, but I just find it so cool how you can pick some of the canonically weaker characters, like Videl, Roshi, and my goat Yamcha, and stand an actual chance against a team of UI Goku, Beerus, and Broly. And not only do you stand a chance against them, but you're perfectly capable of doing some extremely saucy combos on them. Really, this game's combat is just incredible. It's balanced while still having that explosive fun that Dragon Ball is known for, and with a skill gap that's high enough for fighters to have been one of the main games played at EVO for several years. If you don't know what EVO is, it's pretty much the fighting game tournament, and I believe FighterZ is still being featured there as of 2024. So yeah, it's pretty good. Now I just want to lightly give my thoughts on the story mode, since that's pretty much the only other main game mode. And surprisingly, this game's story mode is actually completely original, which is something that I couldn't even 100% say about something like Xenoverse 1's story mode, even though I do like that games as well. So the story here is that the Red Ribbon Army has been revived by Android 21, who supposedly was Dr. Gero's wife? I mean, come on guys, if he could do it, we all can. And Android 21's out to rule the galaxy because she's evil. Duh. And she plans to do this by creating these waves that plant like artificial souls in our characters' bodies. which make it so that they can't really fight correctly. Well, everyone except for Goku, whose body gets inhabited by us, the player. Yes, you. So it's up to us to defeat Android 21, who continuously gets stronger as she turns people into candy and eats them, because she's freaky.
Hey, yo!
And along the way, we have to traverse this map thing that's kind of similar to the board game-like map from Budokai 2 story mode. And every few spaces we have to fight against these evil clones that 21 created, and a few boss battles here and there. And of course, at the end of the story, we reach Android 21, and we beat the shit out of her.
Wait, what the fuck?
And that's it. The story mode's over. Except it's not.
Bruh.
See, there's actually 3 different stories. One campaign's based on the hero side, another's based on the villain side, and the android story, which I think may be the true story. I don't know, they all just have different endings, so I'm just gonna call this one the true story. This one also has the most differences, since 21 kind of goes through a good and evil split like Boo and Kami did, and we get to play as the good Android 21 alongside the other androids. Except for 16, because for some reason this game just really seems to hate 16. He brutally dies in every story.
I have waited oh so long. Please don't tell me, baby, I was wrong.
And in the end, the good Android 21 sacrifices herself to take out her evil counterpart.
We're going to disappear together! 21!
Damn!
Hey, don't be sad. I mean, I died like a couple of times and still got to see everyone.
Bruh.
In my opinion, I don't think the story mode is bad, but I do think it's very tedious playing what is essentially the same story mode 3 different times, with the only reward being unlocking 21 as a playable character, which you could already do by other means like buying her from the in-game shop. It's just not very fun, especially since during the time you're not watching cutscenes, you're just fighting the numerous clones that all fight like they're lobotomized, so playing the story mode just becomes incredibly boring. But there is one thing that I do think saves it, and that's the special battle intros you can activate by putting different characters on the same team, all of which are such a treat to watch as someone who loves the series and its characters. It's just so much fun experimenting with the different teams you can create and see what sort of interactions they'll have, and it's definitely the most fun thing about the story mode.
Seriously? Those two are always so careless. Piccolo, this is your fault. What the heck have you taught them?
Don't place the blame on me. Gotenks is Goten and Trunks after all. He has both of their flaws. Maybe you should take more responsibility as a parent.
Well, certainly. Kakarot has a big hand to play in this. He always lowers his guard and lets his power get to his head, just like these two troublemakers.
To be fair, your aggressiveness and your habit of taunting enemies has rubbed off on them as well.
No, this is all Kakarot's fault!
Now let me glaze this game's music real quick. Dragon Ball FighterZ music fucks.
Hey, yo!
It perfectly embodies the mix of rock and mystical sounds that are associated with Dragon Ball, and every single track is an absolute masterpiece. But I'm not done with the glazing, because the cherry on top of all of this is FighterZ visuals. Honestly, I think FighterZ might still be the best looking Dragon Ball game to date. Yes, even better than Sparking Zero. And I mean, do I really even have to say why I think this? Just use your eyes, man.
It's perfect!
The graphics are absolutely incredible, with an art style that looks pretty much like the anime's Buu Saga art, but perfectly translated into 3D, with shading, lighting, and colors that just make the game stupidly pleasing to look at. On top of that, this game also has some crazy animations, even down to the little details. Like how every character's attack animations, even the regular light, medium, and heavy attacks, are all references to things they did in the anime and manga. Oh, and how could I almost forget? The dramatic finishes. If you defeat your opponent's last fighter with a heavy or vanish attack, and depending on the characters you were both playing, you can activate a dramatic finish, which is a special victory animation referencing events from the anime and manga. So like this really cool one of the family Kameyamama.
The Kameyamama.
The family Kamehameha against Z Broly, and even some original ones thrown in there.
Guess I showed you I'm not playing around, didn't I?
Really, you can just tell that Fighters was made with a lot of love. Not just love for Dragon Ball, but love for fighting games as a whole. And I know it's not perfect, no game is, but Dragon Ball Fighters is pretty damn close.